Whether you need to get from A to B inside a medieval game, or maybe you just need a saddle to carry all your items inside, sometimes you just need a good old-fashioned horse mount to get around in. So from customizations to getting from A to B to how much they can carry, this is our top 10 pick for horse mounts in video games. Let's go. In no particular order, we're starting out with the game Minecraft, where there are loads of different type of mounts that you can have. However, before we mount them, we do have to tame them first. Nice and easy. Basically, all you have to do is sit on the horse until it accepts you, and it will literally buckaroo you off until it's ready to fully accept you. When it is ready to accept you, you'll see loads of hearts that just appear out from the horse, meaning that it won't buckaroo you off, and then you can actually put armor onto the horse at this point. Different horses will require different things, so for example, a skeleton horse may let you ride it, but you won't be able to put armor or a saddle onto it, it won't let you. And mules and donkeys will only allow you to have saddles onto them. Now, one thing I found quite interesting when making this video, even though horses are the only ones that allow you to have armor on, donkeys and mules will allow you to attach a chest, so you can actually carry your inventory and move some of it inside the donkey or mule's carry weight. Now, I'm not going to say that these mounts are extremely fast, but obviously you can see the benefit of having a mount with more armor or a mount with more carry weight can come in handy when traveling long distance. Now, moving on to the next game. And I wanted the next game to be something a little bit more classic, something that you'll go, oh yes, of course they're going to include a normal horse game in this list. And yes, it's none other than Gun. It's very basic with this one. You steer the horse whatever direction you want to go into. Now, there's not a set horse for your character inside this game, so you can pretty much get on whatever horse you want to ride, and there are going to be some different style horses that you can ride on within this game. Now, the character you play as might be okay at running and getting around different places when you're in areas, but he can't get from a location to location pretty fast, at least not compared to the speed of this horse. And the horse at full speed is actually really fast, like way faster than the character you play as can run inside this game. So it's not so much about the carry weight, because this horse really can't carry anything, because you can get on any type of horse inside this game. It's more about the speed, which the horse can go really fast from getting from A to B, and it's also about the style of the horse that you want to ride. Obviously, you don't just have to ride this particular horse that I'm riding, you've got a few options of which horses that you want to ride inside this game. Now, moving over to the next game. And yes, in case you forgot, this is Dragon Age Inquisitions, and you can get horse mounts inside this game. And do you know what? I think they're absolutely awesome. Now, I'm not going to say they're the be-all and end-all, because this is a Dragon Age game, and most of the game I like to explore on. But if you're trying to get from A to B really fast, the horse is a good method of getting from A to B. One of the factors inside this game is your horse can disappear and reappear whenever you choose to, just by mounting and dismounting it. Now, the horse may have a bit of speed on it, but there's also an extra thing you've got as well with this particular game. You've got a few options of the style of horse that you want to use. Now, you can change the horse style by going to the stables, and of course, there is a mount that you can choose from. I like the fact that there's quite a few mounts. Now, I haven't unlocked them all, as you can quite clearly see, but there are quite a lot of mounts inside this game that you can unlock, and not all of them are straight-up horses, so it's quite interesting to see some of the stuff you can unlock in this game. Anyway, that's Dragon Age, and now we'll move on to the next game. Now, I'm going to say that this is a top 10 video, so don't judge me for the particular Assassin's Creed game I'm choosing. I'm just choosing this one because it has quite a few mounts inside of it, and I'll let you be the pick of which Assassin's Creed game you like the best when it comes to mounts. In fact, it even goes to far as saying if there's any that you don't like as you unlock them inside this game, there's also ones that you can actually purchase on the Assassin's Creed Helix store. So yes, if you would like to, you can just buy mounts on the Assassin's Creed store. I'm not showing you this as in to entice you to build them, but to pretty much go and say, look how crazy they went on some of the designs, which are actually pretty cool on some of this stuff. Now, I will say, this horse is probably the fastest of the lot that I'm probably going to showcase inside this game. As you can see, the horse has a bit of killer speed, but it also has got auto travel, which I absolutely love. There's only very few games that I'm going to showcase that have like an auto travel system built into them. Basically, what I'm describing is you press the A button and then you can let go of your controller and the horse will just do all the traveling for you, which is great because you don't need to worry about maneuvering your horse or tapping an A button or trying to make your horse go somewhere. This horse generally will just do the traveling for you. Now, I've unlocked the full map on this game, and as you can see, the map is massive. I mean, honestly, there is no way you will want to run across this whole entire map. The horses are there to not only get you from A to B fast, but to actually get you from A to B because, you know, you are not running that distance. Now, you don't have to worry about carrying stuff or putting stuff onto your horse. Your character can handle all that. All you have to worry about is A, getting from A to B when it comes to your mount, and also the stylistic of how you want your horse to look. So, you know, that's just the options for you. I will mention the size of this map is over 10,000 meters, so there is a lot of getting around when it comes to this game. There'll be times when you're just inside cities like this place here where you won't have to worry so much about traveling, but there'll be times when you have to get from A to B, so horses do come in handy inside this game. And again, another big map that you can play is this game right here. This is The Witcher 3. And again, it's one of the games I absolutely love. Now, the horses are very simple inside this game. I say horses, I mean the one horse called Roach. Now, when you're speeding up to a place and you're following a certain location inside this game, the horse does tend to stick on paths whenever possible. So you will notice that the horse will try not to stray and go off-road too much. When it comes to styling your horse, you have a little horse icon in the bottom right-hand area, and your horse icon, you can pretty much change things around, like put different saddles and stuff on your horse. I don't have a lot of saddles on this game, so I can only show you so much. For example, one saddle might have extra stamina or speed, so you can use that instead of the current one that you're using. So if you want to use more speed on your horse, you might be able to increase the speed slightly by putting a faster saddle on. So you can kind of combine the technique of using a faster saddle, which will also change the look of the horse at the same time. So the customization is important to also how fast this horse actually is. Now, it's certainly optional, but you can actually fight while on the horse. So if you do want to attack the enemy while riding the horse at the same time, you can do that. You can just attack the enemy, but they also have the ability to knock you off the horse as well. So it's not always advised depending on the situation that you're in. Overall, basically, the few things that come with this game, it's customizable. There's a little bit of choosing what you want on your horse to affect the abilities of the horse. There's not so much carry weight. But overall, it also is about getting from A to B, and this horse is pretty fast at doing it. Anyway, moving on to the next game. Now, I will mention that I have used mods inside this particular game to unlock all my skills and levels and abilities, so you won't be able to do this at level 1 unless you actually mod the game. Now, this particular horse you can actually purchase or steal. I'm not going to steal it, I'm going to buy this horse. Basically, all you have to do to buy it is make sure you got enough gold and go to the stable master and then ask to buy the horse. This particular horse costs 1,000 gold. Now, it's not so much about the customization because this horse doesn't really have any customization inside it. Also, they can't carry your inventory either, so there's not really a carry weight to this. I think one of the best parts about having a horse inside this game is it can go to a certain speed and get you to places that little bit more faster than just walking there. However, there is one particular reason I chose this game. It's because there is a very special horse on this game that I absolutely love using. I will spawn it in right now. It is basically the skeleton horse that you can spawn. Avak, I think, is the actual pronunciation of the name. Oh, I can spawn 2 of him. That's awesome. And basically, I can ride this horse to wherever I want. I think this is a class horse that you can have. It's kind of magical. I know there are a few other horses that are special inside this game that you can obtain, but this is possibly one of my favorites. So overall, there are like 1 or 2, I think there are 3 special horses inside this game, and the rest of them are just customizational, how you want your horse to look based on what stable you buy from. So it is not that much detail to this, it's more just about getting from A to B with depending what mount you want. With that, we'll move on to the next game. And next on the list is Kingdom Come Deliverance, one of my more favourite games in this list. And basically, the reason why I've chosen this particular one is because of a few reasons. This particular horse has speed. Like, there are different certain horses in this game, and depending which horse you have, different tiers, and some of those tiers may be based on speed. Then you've got certain things like your saddle and other things like that you can hook on. I will mention the saddle because you can actually carry pouches on the side of your saddle, which you can put your equipment inside, so your horse is able to carry stuff as well. And also, depending what stuff you put onto your horse will affect how the horse looks. So there's also certain amount of customization. So it's kind of all combined into one, but you can really affect the customization, the carry weight, and of course, the speed of the horse, depending what horse you want to choose. Now, this whole game is first person, so you will mainly be seeing the ears and head of the horse whenever you're riding it, which is kind of cool. And of course, like I mentioned before, there are a tier list. Here is the tier list of this particular stable. There's a few other stables inside the game, and you can pretty much choose whatever horse you want. I normally stick with tier 4 because those are normally either the strongest or the fastest horses within the game. There are also people that sell items for your horse that you can choose to buy at certain areas in this game. Like, for example, I got this comparison thing that you can actually apply and put on your horse as well. And there you can have a interesting looking noble horse if you would like. And yes, at full speed, this horse is actually very fast, especially compared to the main character that you play as within the whole of this game. So overall, one of my favorite type of horse video games out there. Now moving on to the next game. And strangely enough, I'm going to include The Sims into this game. Yeah, it seems like it. Basically, you can get horses in the game Sims 4. Now, The Sims 4 is an RPG free roam map. This is basically just a life simulator, and it just includes this inside the game, which is pretty interesting, but yeah, there you go. Now, I will mention that within this game, it's not so much about speed or getting to places. It's kind of more of the opposite. This is not about carry weight either. This is completely about customization, if anything else. Now, depending if you want to get a small horse or a big horse, you can pretty much choose whatever. We'll work with a big horse for this particular game. And basically, you can change how you want your horse to look. From choosing the saddle, the hair type, the hair color, pretty much the whole style of the horse. However you want your horse to pretty much look, you can pretty much do in this game. There's a lot of customization that you get with this, because this game is a bit more about customization and a bit more how you want things to look than it is about speed or getting around. So if you're interested into a game that's less about speed and RPG and action, and you just kind of want a game where you want to settle back, control lives and customize things, then maybe The Sims is more direction for you. But anyway, we'll move on to the next game with another one of my favorites. This is Hogwarts Legacy, and no, there's not quite directly a horse inside this game. It's more of a half horse, half eagle that you get to fly in. Yes, it's basically a flying horse, half eagle creature. Why the heck would you not want this? Honestly, of all the games that I played while recording this video, this was the most satisfying and the most beautiful to actually experience. Mainly just because you get these moments where you're just flying through the air and you're kind of like, oh, this is beautiful, and just flying and chilling, all that kind of stuff. And then you realize it's a half horse creature, so it kind of counts. So yeah, this is a half horse, half eagle flying creature. And again, this is Hogwarts Legacy, and I absolutely love this. And one thing I absolutely love inside this game is actually filled with hills and stuff like that, which means having a flying mount really does come in handy, especially when you're trying to get from A to B. Now, I did check with Thistles, and Thistles aren't technically horses even though they look pretty much identical to horses, it's the hippogriffs which are actually described as half horses, half eagles. So those are why I'm including those into this list. So it's less about customization and less about carry weight, but it's more about getting from A to B. And generally, this is one of the best games that does this, because I'll just show you how fast it is to actually get from A to B. So I started off on top of the Ravenclaw common room rooftop, where you can actually spawn in mounts. And then I flew from here around the side of the castle and then landed in the front courtyard. Now, normally this would take you a while to get through the castle from A to B to get to this point, but on a mount it was incredibly quick. Anyway, overall, that is Hogwarts Legacy, and we'll move on to the final and last game on my list. And the final and last game is the game that includes absolutely everything. So yes, you can brush down your horse inside this game. You can pull it along just by holding the lead to it. You can tie it to shoe if you want to, like for example, what I do right here. And I wasn't expecting this, but it also hit that guy over. So yeah, he's not having a great day. If you don't want the horse that you're using, you can just remove the saddle and put it on a different horse, whichever horse you would like. And if you wanted to have that horse as your horse inside the game, you just strap the saddle on to the horse that you want. You can also customize the horse and the way you want your mount to look by taking it into a stable. And I will mention that inside the stable, there are different things you can do, like you can buy a different horse if you really want to. As you can see as I go through these horses, there is stats at the bottom left, so you can actually see and choose which horse you want, depending on what stats there is. When it comes to your horse, you get to change what saddle you want on the horse, so you might not want a particular saddle and might want to change it. You can do that inside the stables. You can also apply different stirrups to the horse, which will change either the speed of the horse and the acceleration of the horse in either a good way or a bad way, depending what stirrups you have. You can also change the hair that you've got on top of your horse, and you can also change the tail as well, so you can have different looks to your horse. So there's a lot of customization you can do. On top of this, this horse is actually really fast and really good from getting to A to B. And I say that because not only is the horse fast, it's also got this directional travel again built into the game. All you have to do is select the marker you want your horse to travel to, go into cinematic mode, and then just press A depending on what speed you want the horse to travel in, and the horse will just generally travel in the direction until it gets to that way marker. The horse will probably follow a path to get to the location, so if you want to let the game take control and take you to the location of where you're traveling to, you can do. You can let the game take control. And the last thing I'll mention, that there is no carry weight on this game. However, the horse does affect what you are carrying at any point. So, for example, if you want a sniper rifle and you're not carrying it, you can go to your horse and pick out the sniper rifle that's actually on your horse. You can then use this for any means necessary that you would like. If you would like to change the current weapon, which is a rifle for the bow, you put the rifle back into the horse and you take the bow out, and then you can use the bow instead if you want to. Or if you want, you can just put all weapons back inside the horse, and then you don't have to worry about carrying an extra weapon. Anyway, what's your favorite video game with horse mounts? Is it one of the ones that I've included inside the video, or is it a completely different game altogether? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will talk to you very soon on another Jump Inside video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Hey, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy the video, then please don't forget to consider to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on another Jump Inside video. Goodbye.